Joel Embiid is the new favorite at BetMGM to be NBA MVP. Embiid minus 110. Jokic, just quite the fall from grace for Jokic at this point right now. Still can win, obviously. Plus 160. Giannis right now at plus 350. Ken Barkley, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, potential for something really crazy to happen. This is a really atypical award. It's like one of the awards that should be priced the most efficiently all the time because we have really reliable polling on it that comes out multiple times a year. No other award we have even close to that. We're guessing so much on pricing so many of these awards. And this is one where we feel like we should have a good handle. The last straw poll was like less than a month ago. And Jokic got, 77 of 100 first place votes, something like that. Giannis got 11, and that was second. And Embiid got less than that. So think about like how that margin like existed. Again, less than a month ago. I mean, the Nuggets have probably only played 10 games since then, probably. And yet, despite that, you think about everything that's happened. So the straw poll comes out. There's an immediate overreaction. A ton of media personalities go on TV and say a bunch of like slanderous things about Jokic and really drive a narrative that he is undeserving of winning. I think that speaks to some of the voter base that's like believes that, but not most, because again, he got 77 first place votes. Couldn't be that much of that feeling out there. So this kind of like starts stirring the pot a little bit. Maybe it's something, I remember we talked about it on the show and I go, I'm going to be really interesting if this is a thing or not. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a thing. So then you combine that with something really important, which is on-court performance. The Nuggets start playing really bad. Jokic starts having a couple stat lines where he's not very good. His defense gets put under the microscope to a massive degree. People have Twitter threads of videos.
This is all sharing. So dumb, isn't it?
Well, it's manufactured is what it is. But it's foreseeable a little bit because anytime you have someone who's won something for a long time, everybody wants to pivot to a new thing. Like we talked about this in the offseason about that this was possible. Not that it was going to happen. And so people are, again, there's all of this kind of negative Jokic vibe going on. The team isn't playing well. He's playing less well, although he's still very good. Not playing a lot of defense. Everyone's emphasizing all of these things. So the perception of what's happening is that he's not playing well. And while he's doing that, Joel Embiid is playing even better, which is probably this part that should be celebrated about this, is that he's unbelievable. It was great again last night, even with the foul out and everything. So my opinion of this market is not like there's some massive opportunity. I still think it's like the award market that tends to be priced the most efficiently. It tends to be like a really good reflection of what's actually happening. So I think like the way to interpret this is what's actually happening is it's getting really close because the prices are getting really close and the performances are getting really close. And in a lot of the advanced metrics that everyone kind of like makes fun of because they all favor Jokic, like spoiler alert, Embiid's awesome at all of them too. He has a chance to pass Jokic in PER like next week. If they play really well, they play each other one more time this season. And then Embiid plays Giannis. I don't think there's a phenomenal bet if it's, hey, like what should the pricing be? The thing I push back on, I think it's a two-way market between Jokic and Embiid that's pretty close. I think it's totally fair right now because Embiid has played better, Jokic has played worse, the Nuggets have played worse, the Sixers have played better, and there's a ton of like negative kind of stereotypes about Jokic that are out there. Sure, could all of that create a 50-50 race with the two of them? Absolutely. I don't think that's wrong at all. I don't think there's a way to bet it. I think it's like, what happens if again, sort of like defensive player of the year, sort of like six man, what if the next 15 games like actually just decide who wins? Which is like a totally like organic, normal way to think about this stuff. Now, the thing I push back against a little bit, and I had dinner with Whale Capper, Drew Dinsick last night and a bunch of other people, and Whale and I had like a pretty, like, it was not like we were not at each other's throats or anything, but like a pretty animated, like 20-minute argument about MVP. He really thinks Giannis is like, his price is going to drop massively and that he is going to win. And it's not that I think it's like that I have to be right, but like I have a strong opinion and I think it's that he's not going to win. And I think the problem with Giannis's case, to me at least, so obviously in the advanced metrics, he loses to the other two by daylight, and I still think that matters. I also think like it's not for sure that he's going to play every game down the stretch because it's never for sure that he's going to play these games. And if he starts to play like a few fewer games than these other guys, that's going to matter. Like, need to have as many opportunities as possible to build stats. But the biggest thing with this is just, I think that Giannis would have a case to beat Jokic because there's such an anti-Jokic sentiment out there. I don't think that Giannis has a case to beat Embiid. I don't think it
Giannis has won a couple times already. Embiid hasn't.
The perception is like, and this has been brought up by a lot of voters on podcasts, on other writings, like, there's a real thing, and it used to be true in the NBA a lot, where people would look at the candidates and say, like, man, how is that guy not won one? Like, we got to get that guy one, like, for this era, basically. This is probably, like, either the last year or one of the last years Embiid will be good enough to win the award. And, like, he hasn't won one, and it's kind of crazy that he hasn't won one because Jokic won each of the last two, and he came in second each of the last two. the Embiid Giannis thing, like, I don't think Giannis can beat him unless Embiid gets hurt. I think Giannis could be Jokic. I think Embiid could be Jokic because Jokic is so vulnerable. There's so much negative energy. But, like, if it's Giannis Embiid at the end, I have a hard time believing voters are going to be like, let's give it to the guy with 2.